These ones are at 3 or 3:15.
3 then? 3. Only forever, Isaac. Always. And
One time.
what?
A couple weeks ago, I started at 3:15.
You are right. You are right. You got me on that one, buddy. Meeting is live, so you should be able to join whenever. Italiano. We had Italian for the seniors luncheon. You got a whole bunch of fake mustaches for everyone. It's great. Yep. So I gave them a stack of mustaches and I said, all right, the most unique facial hair wins at the table.
Are we going to be singing today?
I don't know. That's what they came up with. This push.
It's kind of rude.
Oh, battery.
Good,
Oh, battery.
Cheryl,
Really bad.
she's lived down the road from our house had, and so she always tries really nice stuff. Vomit at all.
It's because Pat's a loser. It's because Pat's a loser.
Loser.
What? About loser.
No, you just spit on me. Gross.
Try this again.
I'm gonna turn on you. Can you hear me? Kristen, can you hear me, Kristen?
Yes.
Can you sure? Are you sure you can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you out here.
Okay, I just want to make sure you can hear me. Because if you can't hear me, if I'm not loud, make sure you can hear me. Can you hear me if I talk like this? If I talk like this, if I talk like this.
Just land. I hope it's not.
I know today was the first time in choir that I seen the on the air.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, oh yeah, that's right.
No, Bob could watch you in choir. Arizona.
Wasn't their church getting ready to go online too? I need to find out if they're online.
Yeah, I think.
So I can watch Bob.
Yeah. I thought they were. I thought they were when we were out.
No.
Well,
Just the one,
I
or
don't
they
know.
said they were afraid of the material to get wrong. But we paid for a whole series.
I don't think. As long as you can.
Put a top on that.
Yeah, as long as you can put a top on it. Yeah, that should be fine.
Any food?
Is there any Italian left over?
We ate at home, or at KFC, but I'm so hungry. I want a can. Cream can.
Yeah, I think having a bottle of
I'm
pop.
tempted to have Ube's coffee.
Maybe they got some more Italian left over.
That sounds good.
Well,
you got it.
Come on, I'll hook you up.
Really?
Come on.
Jason's gonna hook me up. Is that my walking on?
I don't think so. You think you walk like that? Boone. Boone. Pop.
You know, it looks like you have curly hair.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, it's good you have curly hair.
You know, curly hair got nothing to do with it.
Yeah, you can do this. This is what I do every day. The same thing every single day.
Problem is, like, when I do that, I have like little hairs, and that goes like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
I don't think so. Just embrace your hair that God has given you. I almost stopped and got Dr. Pepper on the road, but I was running late. I'm sorry.
Wait.
Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do about that because I feel like most of us are in there.
You guys can miss because, you know, I'm sure the Lord wants to. But usually it's good.
So are we just going till normal time today, or do I need to end early for?
You go to Pastor would say, if it's possible,
Under a bit? You said under a bit?
no, Pastor would say, if it's possible, please end early.
Okay.
I would say, let's go to your race right now. Da, 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 da,
That's Christ's part, we have to I don't know what this song is where I have.
da, da,
Well,
da,
the
da.
song if I your brother Money's new plan. I'll have to tell you when there's no one around. It's actually really cool.
Oh, it's cool?
It's really cool. He called me at 8:30 this morning. He's been up since 3:30 stewing on it. He's calling it fantastic. It's a cool one.
Is he moving into YouTube?
No, that wouldn't be so cool.
Yeah, it's on mute.
Mike's working.
Yeah.
Hey, brother.
Good to see you again.
Always.
Stop.
Well.
See each other in heaven forever.
Well, that is for sure. That's why we shouldn't have enemies that are Christians.
Oh,
My dad would always say when we were little, you
Wow.
will be brothers forever. So
It's
just
tough.
learn to love each other. It's not going to change. So, you know.
It's gonna be a good class.
Teach me that.
Yeah.
It's like, yes,
I've been doing that since I was a kid.
Oh, I did it.
Guess
So
what?
worse. Okay. Go. Yeah.
it's fun to put it on. Now I forgot what it was. But it wasn't that good. Steve?
Put it on.
Hmm?
We put it on.
Put it where?
Yeah. Put on your next what? Aw, you developed a picture?
God, a lot.
I didn't know you could do that anymore.
Right. I kept the other one. So beware.
You're gonna use it?
I already did.
So rude. Where's the clip?
It's in my pocket. I don't know which coffee to drink first. Should I drink mine or the Biggie coffee? Huh? No, this is, I roasted it myself.
Save the best for last.
I still can't get it.
This guy's
Take
still
your
the link.
Biggie and then watch it.
100% left.
I'm not trying to like.
I'm gonna do it.
I did, I like black coffee, but not when I've been drinking my good stuff all day.
I don't want to be too late. Too late.
Who brought you that?
It's not awful. You all want to try my coffee sometime. It's good. Ugh, that's awful. Not a fan. I prefer light roast coffee, so. I make the best.
Yeah, right
My
next to
coffee's
KFC.
strong. Do you want to try it?
I'm good. I don't want to ruin my bedroom.
smell it.
Don't make me bad.
It's black coffee. Yeah.
The only time they use
You have a gift for me?
It's a missionary
Wow. Thank you. Yeah, it's a honey bean. I've never tried it before.
Yeah, that's
Hannah, I believe that you have the starts online this week as well.
Okay. So Harley, the start.
So far, I think it might be just the starts.
That's right. Yeah, that's a song. Hi, Shauna.
Alright, so is everybody? I think so. Alright, would someone like to open us up in prayer today? Peyton, thank you. Remember that buck grunt comment? Thank you for praying for us.
Alright, sure. What do you do for the day? We're thankful we were able to take this class. So you can give the hand of wisdom. Teach us, so that we can stay focused and concentrate on what we do.
Peyton was making fun of me last week. So, in return, he asked to pray. Right? Fair enough. We were all making fun of me. It was fun. Alright, so Callie Mara. Has everyone had a good week?
Amen.
Really? It was that good, huh? So glad to hear that. Mariah, did you have a good week? I felt the same way. It's been like 3 weeks. I've been spending a lot of time with this person lately. She's really getting on my nerves. It is Mariah, yeah. No, we've been having fun. Alright, if you have your homework from last week, go ahead and get that out, please. We're going to parse and decline and translate sentences 2, 3, and 4 on page 33. Alright, please make sure your name is on it. Your name is on it. And pass it to the middle. Thank you. Like this story? No. Yeah, you can. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. You're welcome. Anyone else?
Yeah.
I'm having trouble.
Okay, that's okay. Matthew, I think I should give you a harder time.
I second that.
After the deeds of yesterday.
I didn't do anything.
Tried. I run an orphanage now, apparently.
I gotta hear this one.
Hannah, here's my homework.
Matthew was trying to get someone's number for me.
They wrote 911 on that.
So that's what happens when I go to teen events. Just always now. Alright, so thank you for the homework. And let's go over the vocabulary real quick on page 31. You don't have a quiz today, so I'm going to give you another week to work on this vocabulary. I don't know why, but as a teacher, I've always just assumed that if I had a busy week, that my students had a busy week. And that's probably not actually the case, but
That's good.
lucky for you, I had a busy week. You did too. You had what? Oh, that's why you didn't do your homework. Sure. Alright, page 31. Page 31 in your textbook. I'll say the Greek word, you say the Greek word, and then we'll say the English meaning together, okay? Angelos. Angel, messenger. Agros, field. Adelphos, brother, fellow believer. Hamartolos, sinner. Anthropos, man, person. Apostolos, apostle, messenger. Diakonos, minister. Doulos, slave, servant. Thanatos, death. Theos, God. Jesus, Jesus. Cosmos, world. Kurios, Lord, master. Lithos, stone. Logos, word, message. Nomos, law. Oikos, house, household. Aklos, crowd. Huios, son. Christos, Christ. Very good. Very good. So we're going to do some review, and then today we are going to spend the bulk of the class translating. So now that we know present active indicative verbs, so what are those verb endings? Louder! Good job, I think you know. Alright, so what are the future active indicative verb endings? So the future is sure. So, say, salmon, seta, susi. So remember, the future is just the present active indicative verb endings with a sigma at the beginning. So, say, salmon, seta, susi. Very good. Alright, so we review present active indicative verbs. When you parse a verb, what do you have to identify? And lexical form, and then you have to give a translation, right? Good job. Alright, so next we were talking chapters 4 and 5 about nouns of the second declension. So we talked about inflection. What is inflection? What is inflection? Inflection is when a word changes to show its grammatical function in a sentence. Okay, so inflection would be a good quiz question. What is inflection would be like a good quiz or final question, right? So what is inflection? Inflection is when a word changes to show its grammatical function in a sentence. So how do verbs inflect in Greek? The endings change, right? Which shows its tense, voice, mood, person, number, different things like that. So how does a noun change inflect in Greek? The endings change again. And what does that inflection show? It's not going to show a tense difference, but a case difference. Yes, very good. So the inflection of a noun is called a declension. Okay, the inflection of a noun is called a declension. There are 3 declensions, but we're only learning the second. It is primarily masculine. Okay? Because first declension would be feminine, because ladies first, and then men. Okay? So we do not parse nouns like we parse verbs, but we do decline nouns. We decline nouns. I don't know how fast to go, because some of you are taking notes. Yes, sir.
So how would you decline to answer?
How would I decline to answer? I won't tell you. I plead the fifth. Alright, so Greek cases. In any sentence, a noun or a pronoun has a certain relationship to the other words around it. Okay, so we looked at a few examples. If we consider the sentence, men see apostles, we see that the nouns men and apostles have different grammatical functions. So the subject of this sentence is men. We know it's a subject because it comes before the verb. So in English, the subject comes before the main verb. Men see. So who is seeing? Men are seeing. And then we have the direct object. So what are these men seeing? Men see apostles. So in what language do we speak? English. In English, we have subject, verb, object. Okay, so we have what we would call an SVO language. Subject, verb, object. Some languages are object, verb, subject. So apostles see men, but to us that sounds weird because it sounds like we're just flipping it. It's different. Zonka is object, subject, verb. Right, Ryan? No. Subject, object, verb. So I could say Sonam tea drinks. So Sonam drinks tea. Sonam tea drinks would be the Zonka sentence structure. So sentence structure is different in every language. It never really confusing when you're trying to speak a different language or translate into another language because you have to start moving stuff around. And sometimes we run into that even with Greek because Greek was pretty free in their sentence structure because they didn't have to have a particular pattern because the endings of the nouns would change to show their grammatical function. In Greek, they would often, if they were trying to emphasize a particular noun or something, they would just move it to the beginning of a sentence to show that this is really important and then say everything else. But we can't do that as easily in English, so that's a little different. So if we consider the sentence apostles see men, we see that apostles is the subject and men is the direct object. Does that make sense to everyone? We see subject, direct object, because in English we just have a pattern. This goes here, this goes here, this goes here, this is the answer. But it's not that way in Greek, okay? So in English, the position of a noun in a sentence is what determines its grammatical function, okay? In Greek, grammatical relationships are determined by the particular suffixes that are applied to the noun. So what is a suffix?
At the end.
An ending. It attaches to the end of a word, right? A suffix would attach to the end of a word. Very good. So when we translate sentences, which we're going to be doing several today, it is important to remember that the subject will not always be found before the verb, nor will this object always be found after the verb. Okay, so take everything that your grammar teacher taught you and just throw it away when you're in Greek. Okay, but don't like completely throw it away because you still need to know it. That's why you need coffee. If you don't drink coffee, I recommend starting. Okay, that's when I started drinking coffee full time. Is when I started studying Greek. Changed my life for the better. Okay, so Greek has 4 basic cases. Who can remember a name of one of these cases?
Nominative.
Olivia? Nominative. And what is the function of the nominative case? The subject, because it names the subject, right? Alright, so nominative, what else? Accusative, yeah. So the next in order would be genitive, but what is the accusative case? Direct object. Yeah, very good. Alright, so who said genitive? What is the function of the genitive case? Yes, position or relationship, possession. And what word is usually translated with the genitive case? Of, right? So I am of my parents because there's a relationship there. I'm their daughter, so I am of my parents. Okay? So yes, genitive. And then the last one, dative. And what is the function of the dative case? Indirect object. And what word is usually translated with the dative case? To, right? So I throw the ball to Brogan. Okay, to Brogan would be in the dative case. Alright, because I'm throwing what? The direct object, the ball. Who am I throwing it to? To Brogan. Right? Yeah, so we can play football and I'll throw the ball to you. If I can make it. Alright, so nominative case is the subject, genitive shows possession or relationship, dative is indirect object, and accusative is direct object. So when you decline a noun, you need to identify the case of the noun. So that's the first thing you're going to look at. When you come to a noun, you'll look at the ending, say that ending is the nominative case, or that ending is the dative case. That's why we memorize this list in order: nominative, genitive, dative, accusative. Does everyone have that memorized yet? Not gonna date around, remember our little acronym?
I didn't get the around.
Okay, so not gonna date around. So let's say them all together. Nominative, genitive, dative, accusative. Nominative, genitive, dative, accusative. Nominative, genitive, dative, accusative. Accusative. Okay, very good, very good. Alright. So you will also need to identify the gender of the noun. So there are 3 grammatical genders. That is masculine, feminine, and neuter. Okay? We are only learning the masculine nouns right now. Okay? So, masculine. We're not learning first declension, which would be feminine. Then there's different endings for neuter, but we're not going to learn that yet. Okay? Then you need to identify the number. So there will be singular or plural. Singular, plural. So we need case, gender, number. So you could say nominative, masculine, singular. Nominative, masculine, plural. Okay? So second declension nouns are primarily masculine and neuter nouns, as we already talked about. There are a few exceptions, but we don't need to worry about that in here. Okay? There are different endings for the masculine and neuter. They're not too different, but they are different. So now we're going to go over the second declension noun endings, alright? I'm sure y'all have been practicing your song all week. Yes, I'm sure you have. Alright, someone has a recording of me singing it. Right, Noah? Did you listen to it on repeat all week? A couple of times, that's good. Alright, so, os, u, o, on, oi, on, ois, oos. Alright, so asuo on oi on oisus. Asuo on oi on oi on oisus. Asuo on oi on oisus. Asuo on oi on oi on oisus. All right, TFM students, please stand. I feel so happy right now. All right, Kate, you're gonna sing first. Okay. Asuo on. Sing it, not say it. If I'm gonna stand up here, stand up. You're gonna stand up here and sing it, okay? Asuo on. Oi on oisus. Asuo on oi on. Oi on oisus. Very good. Olivia. Asuo on. Sing it. Like sing it to a tune. Yeah, Olivia. If I can do it, you can do it. Okay? Yes, you can. Asuo on. Oi on oisus. Asuo on oi on. Oi on oisus. Oi on oisus. Oi on oisus. Oi on oisus. Say it. Oi on oisus. Good. All right. Ben. Asuo on. Oi on oisus. Asuo on oi on. Asuo on oi on. Asuo on oi on. Asu on oi on. Asu oi on. O on. Asu,
Asu.
O on, Oi on. Asu, O on, Oi on. Asu, O on, Oi on.
Asu.
Okay, read them. Asu, O on, Oi on.
Asu.
Asu, O on, Oi on. Asu, O on, Oi on. Okay. Asu, O on, Oi on.
Asu. Oneo.
Oi on, Oisus. Okay, good. Broken. Asu, O on. Oi on, Oisus. Asu, O on, Oi on. Oi on, Oisus. Very good. Alright. Asu, O on. Oi on, Oisus. Asu, O on, Oi on. Oi on, Oisus. Very good. Alright. Isaac. Asu, O on. Sing it.
Come on, dude.
Come on, Isaac.
Where's your
If I can stand up here and look like this, I can't either.
You can do it, Isaac.
Probably done better.
Asu, O on. Oi on, Oisus. Asu, O on, Oi on. Oi on, Oisus. I can't even get upset with him because his pronunciation is so good. Yeah, good job, Isaac. Alright, Peyton. We got this. Good job. Keep going. Good job. Asu, O on.
Oi on Oisus.
Oi on, Oisus.
When did this get reversed?
Bad luck.
Asu, O on, Oi on. No. I'm right. Asu, O on, Oi on. Oi on, Oisus. Okay. Thank you. Alright, good job. Anyone who is not a student who wants to volunteer to humiliate yourself?
Becca volunteers.
Becky, you humiliate yourself? You don't. Okay. He's not in here. Emily, do you want to do it? No. Okay. Mariah, you want to do it? Jada? No. Man, look at these party poopers. Okay. Good. Alright, so let's do it all together 2 more times and then we'll move on, okay? And sing it. Asu, O on.
Asu, O on.
Oi on, Oisus.
Oi on, Oisus.
Asu, O on, Oi on.
Asu, O on, Oi on.
Oi on, Oisus.
Oi on, Oisus.
Asu, O on.
Asu, O on.
Oi on, Oisus.
Oi on, Oisus.
Asu, O on, Oi on.
Asu, O on, Oi on.
Oi on, Oisus.
Oi on.
Very good. Alright, so in declining a noun, what we first do is identify the stem. So we have the noun anthropos. Anyone remember what anthropos means? Man, right? So anthropology is the study of mankind. Alright, anthropos, so we take off that ending, os. We're left with anthrop. Alright? Just like you would do for a verb. Okay? Obviously I copied this slide from last week and that's why it still says noun. But it's supposed to be verb. Okay, and then so the regular form for nouns is going to be the second declension nominative masculine singular. So omicron sigma os. Okay, so verb we look for omega, second declension, nouns we look for os. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. Alright, so let's do some practice. If we have the noun namu, what would be the case of namu? Genitive? How do you know that? Because? Alright. Olivia, what would be the gender of Namu? Masculine. How do you know that? Boys. Because it's the ending, we've only ever learned masculine, right? Alright, so genitive masculine. Finn, is this singular or plural? Singular. How do you know that? Okay, so if you go through the song in your head, Ostu, right? So then you know that that's genitive masculine singular. Does that make sense? Okay. Namu. Namu. Right. Alright, so you can write it out like this, or you can just write genitive masculine singular. Okay? And it's from, does anyone know what it's from? Brogan, what noun would be from? Namas. Os. Because remember, we would take the ending off and put the nominative masculine singular ending there, which is namas. Does that make sense? If it doesn't, tell me so we can go over it again. Okay, that's okay. So it's from namas. And what does namas mean, Noah? You don't know? Can you look in your book? Right? So this is genitive case. Is there a word, Isaac, that's usually translated with the genitive case? Of, right? So this would be of law. Right? Good. Of law. So noun, genitive masculine singular. I just said that very much like a Michigan person. Masculine. I can't even do it on purpose.
You learned it.
I need to go back to Ohio. Go Bucks.
Oh, no. Okay. Someone's getting her tires slashed.
I need to wear my Bucks sweatshirt.
You don't want to burn the church.
Alright, so of law. So the next word we have is Christo. Christo. Alright, so Peyton, what would be the case of Christo?
Case? Ladder?
Dative, yes, very good. How do you know that? How do you know that? Because the book says that's a good place to go. Dative, and also it has the omega ending with the iota subscript, right? Which is a dative ending. Alright, so masculine, is this masculine? Is it masculine? Yeah, okay, good. Dative, masculine. Alright, Miss Lori, is it singular or plural? Singular, very good. Alright, so we can write it out like that, or just write dative, masculine, singular, from. Emily, what's it from? Christos, very good. Alright, and Mariah, how would we translate it? Christ? Not of, because it's to Christ. Very good, Christ. Very good. Does that make sense? Makes sense. Do you have any questions about this?
You probably want to, how do you tell
Because of the ending. So os, u, o, on, oi, on, oisus will always be masculine noun endings.
So all of these endings are nouns on all.
Yes. Yeah, very good. Anybody else? No? Okay. Alright, so let's translate. Okay. So I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to write on the board. Alright, so who would like to try to read this sentence for us? Emily. No, just read it in Greek. Mhm. Some kind of hard and proper. Jesus. So, Doron, Theu, Esti, Christos, Jesus. Okay? Alright, so Doron, Kate. Is this a noun or a verb? Noun. How do you know that? Because it's a noun, right? Alright, so is it nominative, genitive, dative, or accusative? Not genitive. So it's accusative. How do you know that? Because of the ending, right? So you see this omicron mu ending. Alright, good. Olivia, is it masculine, feminine, or neuter? Masculine. So accusative, masculine. Beck, is it singular or plural? Singular. Singular. Alright. Ben, what is this from? You know what? Hold on, I made a mistake. I made a mistake. This is actually nominative, neuter, singular from Doron. Sorry. Alright? So this is a nominative neuter. Okay? So this is a gift. Or just gift. Alright, that was my bad. Alright, Ben. Theu, is that a verb or a noun?
Verb.
Not a verb. Not a verb. So it's a noun. Very good. So what would the case of Theu be? The case? Nominative, genitive, dative. Genitive. Very good. Is it masculine, feminine, or neuter? Masculine. Is it singular or plural? Singular. And what's it from? So remember, we can just cross off this ending and put the nominative masculine singular ending. So, theos. Alright, so gift. Okay, so genitive, masculine, singular. And what word is usually translated? Of, yep. So of. And do you know what theos means? God, yep. So gift of God. Alright, Brogan, do you know what SD is, or do you need me to tell you? Because this is an irregular. Okay, so this is a present active indicative, third person singular from a me. Do you know what a me stands for? It means I am or I exist. So he, she, or it is. Does that make sense? I'm sorry, I chose a really bad sentence today because I forgot about that one. Alright, so gift of God is, alright, Ben, Noah, sorry guys. I hated it when people do that with me and my sister. But she's 10 years older than me and they say we look alike, so that's also rude. It is. Okay, so Noah, Christos. Is it a noun or verb?
It is
a noun. Very good. So what is the gender number case? Gender case, gender number.
It's masculine. It's singular.
Nominative. And what's it from? Christos. It's from Christos, right? Do you know what it means? Christ. All right, Isaac. This last one is a proper name. Okay? And so you're going to find that this is exactly as it's written in your vocabulary list. Because proper names don't change. Okay, so do you know what Jesus means? Jesus. All right, so how would we read this in English? Okay, gift of God is Christ Jesus. That doesn't sound very proper, does it? It's a little awkward in English. So how would we make it sound proper in English? Olivia? We could say the gift of God, but that is adding happiness that's not there in the original. Alright? Because if it was going to say the gift, we could have tone, do, ron. Alright? So then that would be the gift of God is Christ Jesus. But that's not there. So this is not word for word from the Bible. But if this was the Bible, I would say we can't say the because God didn't say the. Does that make sense? Alright, so what would we say instead of the? A, right? So indefinite would be a gift of God is Christ Jesus. Alright? So good job. Alright. Isn't translation fun? Alright, this one's a little bit longer. I'm excited about this one. There are some things in here that you might not know, but that's okay. Alright, where did we leave off? Alright, this says, Lege auto ha Jesus. Ego emin he hadas kai he aletheia kai he zoe. Okay? Does everyone get that? Yeah, good. Alright, Isaac. So we're going to start here with lege. Is that a verb or a noun? It's a verb, right? So can you tell me the tense, voice, mood? Present, active, indicative, very good. Person and number? Third singular, very good. Do you know what it's from? Do you know what verb it's from? So it'd just be Lego, right? So we take off that ending and add omega from Lego. Alright, can you look up in your book and tell me what Lego means? You can look up in the back or on your, what? Yes, it's a block. I actually don't know if you've memorized this one. If you turn in the back, where'd you find it? I say, right? So I say. So how would we do that in present? I'm sorry. Present active indicative third. All right, boys, Peyton and Matthew. How would you say present active indicative third person singular? I say. He, she, or it. He says. Very good. All right, you don't know this. I'm going to tell you this is dative, masculine, singular, toss. To him. All right, he says to him. All right, next we have, this is a definite article. Means the. All right, so Peyton, Jesus. We just saw this in the previous sentence. Remember, this is a proper name, so it's not going to decline like other nouns. Do you know what this means? Jesus, right? Jesus, right. Very good. You do need to know that this definite article that goes with this name, this is a nominative, masculine singular, and it means the. Alright, so all of the ways to say the in Greek is ha he ta tu te su to te to ton te ta hui ha ta to ton ton hui sai su tu ta ta. Okay? So I have a song for that too. Maybe I'll teach you next time we're together. It was my student's favorite. Okay? And you're gonna love it too. There's this whole this thing where you're like everyone's singing off key and it's really just a magical moment. It's a lot of fun, yeah. Alright? So he says to him the Jesus, alright? So ego. Ego, I don't think we know yet. Okay, ego, it means I. I. Alright? Amy, we know what Amy means. Matthew, or Peyton, sorry. What does Amy mean? Right, you did Jesus. Matthew, what does Amy mean? also look in the back of your book. I am. Very good. I am. All right. So this is the. All right. Hadas. Hadas. Miss Lori, can you in this? You know what the case is? Emily, do you want to help your mom? Hadas. So nominative, genitive, dative, or accusative. Nominative, very good. Is it masculine, feminine, or neuter? Singular or plural? Hadas. You know what hadas means? We went over it last week. I told you I remember because it's Ohio Department of Safety. Road, yes, very good. So it is road or way. We're going to say way. So I am the way. Okay. So Kai, does anyone know what Kai means? Mariah, do you know what Kai means? We went over this a lot in our translation. And? Yes, and, very good. It's a conjunction. Meaning and. So I am the way, and. So what does hey mean? The, very good. Alright, aletheia is nominative. This is actually feminine. Again, we're making a little stretch here, but I really wanted to go over this translation today. And can someone look up aletheia and tell me what it means? Truth, yes. Alright, and what does kai mean? And. Alright, what does hey mean? The. Alright, and you can tell me what zoe means. Life. Alright, so he says to him, to Jesus, I am the way and the truth and the life. Okay, so if we don't put this in English sentence structure, it sounds like someone else is telling Jesus, hey Jesus, I'm the way, the truth, and the life, right? So that's why grammar is so important. Alright, if we did not translate this accurately and make it faithful to our target language, we would have false doctrine being taught here. Does everyone understand that? So this is where some of the difficulties of translation come in, because it's like, you can really mess up by not knowing your grammar well enough. So, in English, what comes first? Subject, verb, or object? Subject. So what is the subject of this sentence? Jesus, how do you know that? He's the most important, yes, but grammatically, how do we know that Jesus is first? I'm sorry? It's talking about him. Brogan. He's the subject. How do you know he's the subject? He is the one performing the action, but grammatically, how can we tell that he's the subject? Because it's in a nominative case, right? Alright, so nominative case shows the subject. So we look here. So down here in this this extra line, we have some more nominatives, but they're just renaming this nominative, right? So Jesus. Alright, so what is next in English? So Jesus says, right, because that's the verb. Alright, then what? To him, because that's the object. Jesus says to him. What does Jesus say to him? I am the way and the truth and the life, right? So we all know this verse is from John 14:6. So today you all translated your first Bible verse from Greek to English. It's pretty exciting. Is anyone else excited? Very proud of you. Good job, good job. You've only been studying Greek for a few months now and you're already translating the Bible.
I mean, no, not the word, not the word. How would you set up the, you don't know that at all?
I'm not sure yet, exactly. I'm still trying to learn the structure. Yes, sir.
I just make a comment.
Uh-huh.
It's one of the reasons why it is so important. Students often look at English and letting them grumble and everything about that and all the different things and the diagram symbols and all that stuff that we did not like to do. But there is a value to it because of the fact that if you're translating, you have to be able to know, you have to fully understand the Greek and Hebrew grammar and also the grammar of the language that you are translating into. And that's why things like English and like math and different math things are important because they really do serve a purpose. I had to throw in math because that's what I like, but it's so important, and it's not, we don't always realize the importance of it, but there is great importance there, especially when we're considering God's word.
I like this example because it shows translation philosophy and that we do, we talk about word for word translations, and we just translated word for word, but we did have to change some of the structure so it could be understandable in English, right? So it's still word for word, but understandable in English. Because I would not want to read a Bible that says, and he said to Jesus, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Because that's not true. That's not what was being said, first of all. But second of all, no one's going to go to Jesus and say, unless they're cool. I'm the way, the truth, and the life, right? Mr. Bromley.
In the world, there are lots of Jesuses, people named Jesus. So is that important because
yes, it's the definite.
The Jesus, not a Jesus.
Yes.
Like some cults say, like whatever, not the God, a God or something.
Yes. So every definite article is important, and even the sentence we did before that, a gift of God. It's important that we say a and not the. And that's something in translation. A lot of modern translations will add in words here or there because it makes more sense. But the changes they're making, God could have inspired it to have said that in the first place. God could have inspired this to say, and he said unto him, and Jesus Christ said unto him. But he didn't say, and Jesus Christ said unto him. He said, and Jesus said unto him. Is it wrong to say Jesus Christ? No, because Jesus is Christ. But here it would be wrong to say Jesus Christ because that's not what God inspired, right? So, I just love translation. It's so amazing, isn't it? I was in India. One of the guys we were translating with, he was so worried because he had to make a change to one of the verses pretty majorly. He had to move a verb like way up ahead. And he was so concerned. He's like, is it okay that I did that? Like, is it okay? Yes, it's okay. Like, you're still being faithful to the text, but making it so it can be understood by your people. And so I was excited to see that he was so concerned with translating so accurately. But it was probably, I think, 5 or 6 times where I wasn't. He asked me, he's like, okay, I had to move that verb. Is that okay? Is that okay? Yes, it's okay. Because we have to do that or we're going to have a Bible we can't read or understand. And we don't want that. So, good. All right, any questions? We are going to end early just so we can get up to fire. Yes.
Is there a way to tell, like, with the Alakanu, because it could be a neuter, is there a way to tell the difference between those two? I mean, there is, like Doron.
Yeah.
Because Alakanu is a second what?
It is. And so the way we tell this is getting a little more technical than I had planned on doing in here. But if you look in your vocab list in chapter 4, on page 32, you see under letter B, neuter nouns in the second declension. Letter B. So Doron is always going to be a neuter noun in the second declension. And so you just memorize that. And it has next to that it has the definite article ta, which is a nominative neuter singular. And so it's not, obviously I'm not getting into everything in here. This is just surface level.
Yeah.
But that's how you would be able to tell the difference. It's just based on the source noun. Good question. Good. Anyone else? Oh, all right, let's sing a little bit more. All right, TFM students, stand up. I think this is their favorite part of the class. Matthew. Asu-o on. Oi on with Zeus. Asu-o on oi on. Oi on oi Zeus. Very good, Matthew. Proud of you. Peyton. Asu-o on. Oi on oi Zeus. Asu-o on oi on. Oi on oi Zeus. Very good, Peyton. Have a seat. Isaac. Asu-o on. Oi on oi Zeus. Asu-o on oi on. Oi on oi Zeus. Very good. Asu-o on. Oi on oi Zeus. Oi on oi Zeus. Oi on oi Zeus. So remember that own, we have the omega nu, the nu and an own triangle, like I own that, which is so showing possession. I own, right? Oi on oi Zeus. Asu-o on oi on. Oi on oi Zeus. Very good. Rogan. Asu-o on. Oi on oi Zeus. Asu-o on oi on. Oi on oi Zeus. Very good. Asu-o on. Oi on oi Zeus. Asu-o on oi on. Oi on oi Zeus. That was your best yet. I'm so proud of you. Very good, very good. All right, Olivia. Asu-o on. Oi on oi Zeus. Asu-o on oi on. Oi on oi Zeus. Very good. Okay. Asu-o on. Oi on oi Zeus. Asu-o on oi on. Oi on oi Zeus. Very good. All right, now we're gonna play a game. All right, I'm gonna say one, and then you're gonna have to go in order from there when I point at you. So I'll say os, and you're gonna say no. Os. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, what's this one?
Own.
Own?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, boy. What was on?
Own, not own.
Oh.
Own.
Which saying? It's
Voice. Start at the beginning. He did. So os. O. Mm-hmm. Os. And she said os.
Oh.
Os. Who? Voice.
Own.
Oops.
Us.
On.
Own. Os. Stu. O. On. Voice. Oops. Omicron Upsilon says do. Right, do. Oops. Start at the beginning. Oh. Mhm. Very good. All right. So next week you won't have class next week. Maybe I can send a quiz via email.
No.
Take home quiz.
Yeah.
Nope.
It's like every coffee, every
Nice try though. Alright, so your homework for the next few weeks, because next week we won't have class, and then the week after that, I think that we will have a guest teacher. And he's going to say Calimera, and you're going to say
Calimera.
Alright, so your homework is to parse, define, and translate sentences 6 through 10. I gave you a few extra because of our little break here. So pages 6, or not pages 6 through 10, sentences 6 through 10 on page 33 of your textbook. Alright, and then be sure to have the vocabulary from section A on pages 31 to 32 memorized. Alright, any questions? Concerns? Comments? Complaints? Compliments?
You're doing very good.
Thank you. Alright, who would like to close us in prayer? No? Alright, let's pray.
Heavenly Father, Lord, thank you for this day.
Thank you. I hope you all have a wonderful week. I'm really proud of all of you. You're doing great. Keep up the good work. If you don't know your alphabet yet, please memorize your alphabet.
No.
Intersection.
Do that.
Huh?
You know what? I discovered if I ever do public school, I just copy off other people's notes.
Exactly.
Is that what everybody does?
Except for the one person who takes the
Oh, good. Oh, I already have it. I was like, that is so good. Yeah, I
When Dr. Jackson was here, when he would teach, he would teach right in class. He would have 7 hours a day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Or you just don't write.
And then every day
Like
we
I
had
still
quiz
did the
on
same
Thursday, we
math
had a midterm,
assignment.
Friday we
50
had a
assignments.
And so we would go
The
like
exact same
20,
one.
30 pages of notes every day, so we had to go home and study every night. But then on top of
like
that,
as
we
long
would do
as
that
it's
100
turned in
pages
for
a night.
Yeah, you know.
And so we would just get home and just be like,
That's great. Take advantage of the teachers I get paid.
That's live streaming, right?
It's not going now.
I didn't know it.
yeah. And so we wouldn't put that in the English so that I don't have to like.
Wait, we're not gonna be here.
Mr. Patterson.
We're gonna
Do you have to erase
skip the
anything?
quiz.
Or
No,
do you
I
just do it?
don't make,
Oh,
I don't make
no.
mistakes.
Sure.
Of course we don't.
Thank you.
Hey, Matthew doesn't make any mistakes, okay?
Better
not make any
Interesting.
Yeah, it was done by an Orthodox Jewish rabbi. So I mean, I don't know if that has anything to do with it, or they just, because I know how, when you read about translating, they're very sensitive about translating Yahweh.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, I didn't know if that.
We're gonna have to look into that. And if I can't find an answer for it, when Brother Patterson is here, he would be a great person because he speaks modern Hebrew fluently as well. And so, yeah, he might be a really good person to ask. I'll look into it and see what I can find, but if I can't, then I love it when he's coming around because I can refer all questions to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep thinking to bring it with me so you can see it, but I mean, the things like that thing. And,
Yeah.
all it is the New Testament, well, it's the Solomon.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that thing, that's something that's heavy to carry around. Plus, it's got notes and commentary in it. And I was just wondering, because it's an Orthodox Jewish.
Okay, here's what it is. A lot of modern Jews find the name Yahweh too holy, that they can't even speak it. And so Hashem means literally the name.
The name.
And so that's what it is.
Uh-huh. I kind of thought it might have been something like
Yeah.
that. Because you always read about it translated, they'd write one letter, go wash, come back, write another letter.
Yeah, they took
go
it so
wash.
seriously,
Yeah.
which is a good thing.
Yeah. Will you unplug that computer from?